Bouquet Street, West End. Here I am doing another video about a cold case where a murder occurred on this very street in 1996. So Bouquet Street is located in West End, in a city suburb of Brisbane. As you can see, you've got the city in the background there. Quite busy here, but on this cul-de-sac where the body was located, it seems fairly quiet. Well, it used to, I suppose. Just have a look around here. You can see there's a high-rise here, fairly new. I'm guessing this was not here in 1996. Looks fairly modern. We'll have a look. So where this block of apartments is now located used to be a vacant block. Have a look around and see what else used to be here. So, as I said, it's a cul-de-sac. It's fairly short. We'll be walking all the way up to the end. On this side, we've got an older building here. This appears as though it most likely was here in 96. So the vacant block is less likely to have been on this side of the road. Some graffiti on here and on the windows. Possibly could be abandoned. I'll have to check that out on my way back. So as we walk along, I'll show you basically the location where the murder occurred. So as I was saying, this used to be a vacant block back in 1996, and now a massive modern apartment building. So the circumstances of the murder were that 12:30 p.m. on 30th of January 1996, June Florence Lillian Quinton was found murdered on the vacant lot that used to be here in 1996. Her body was located on the vacant block, and her body was found badly decomposed. There was no identification or personal effects found with her body, so it was very difficult to identify her at first. A short time later, a positive identification was made using fingerprints in the fingerprint examination. That concluded that the deceased was June Florence Lillian Quinton. Now, as you can see, there's quite a lot of movement going on here, a lot of people walking around, quite a lot of cyclists. I'm assuming that this remains the case. I mean, obviously there's more cars here, as the majority of them are going into the car park of the unit complex. So I'd say that's the main traffic going through this street. As I said, it's a cul-de-sac. But I'm guessing prior to that there still would have been a lot of pedestrians, a lot of cyclists. So I'll keep walking along here. Just have a little look from the other end. So many of the residents here, if not all of them, probably have no idea that a murder had occurred in 1996, only 11 years ago. It's actually an interesting juxtaposition because we still have this old building on the one side, which, as I said, appears so it could be abandoned. be a workshop of some kind. So, the end of, sorry, almost fell into the ditch there. It was unexpected. Okay, so as I said, the end of this short street, which ends in this cul-de-sac, it's actually right on the river here. As Bouquet Street comes off Montague Road, one of the main streets in West End, travelling from one end to the other along the river. It's an interesting place because there's still a lot of really old buildings and warehouses, and as I said before, the juxtaposition, you've got these brand new modern high-rise apartments going in. I guess eventually they'll demolish a lot more and the whole thing will become modernized, which is actually pretty sad because it's a very nice area, a lot of history. So this is how close the street is to the river, as you can see here. So you imagine that is, you've got the river there, short way away, and then this being vacant block that she was found on. Maybe her murderer had intended to throw her body into the river. Maybe something had distracted him, or someone was around and he had to make a quick escape and had just left her there. I imagine, it's a fairly big block. As I said, there's a lot of pedestrians and cyclists, which I imagine would have, been here even before this building was built. So it's in quite plain sight. And if it was just a completely vacant block, just grass or a dead body, would stand out quite significantly, I would imagine. So I'm guessing it's possible that he did intend to throw her body in the river. So, just having a look around here, you got the bridge in the background there. I'm guessing it's highly likely in 9/7 the bridge was already there. You've got the cyclists going over the bridge too. Just have a look at it. So, the post-mortem examination revealed the cause of death to be a blow to the right side of her head, causing a fracture 5 centimeters by 5 centimeters to her skull. Last recorded sighting of her was around approximately midnight on the 25th of January 1996 in the Fortitude Valley area. During that sighting, she was seen in the company of an unidentified male. So Fortitude Valley is right next to the city, next suburb next to the city, and West End obviously being on the other side, next suburb to the city. However, not a long distance, but a fairly busy area, obviously. So it's interesting to imagine what the circumstances were, whether the murder was premeditated, whether the body had been moved. All remains a mystery. So, this case has never been solved. There are no leads into the investigation at this time. So, 11 years ago, and the case still remains unsolved. Be interesting to know whether, if people believe in hauntings, spirits, that sort of thing, whether any of the residents of this modern unit block here feel any sort of presence or any feeling about the horrific murder that occurred on this street in 1996.